Good afternoon, I am Takahmasak. Welcome back to Maple Story 2. Jesus Christ. I can't remember the controls. It's been a little bit since I played. There we go. There we go. It's the arrow keys, not WASD like everything else. I'm actually surprised there are still people on this game. I mean, like, half surprised. I think I have people hidden. No, I don't. There's a person right there. Oh, okay. Well. Yeah, this game is, I first did the... Oh my god. I first did the beta play, just kind of showing it off when it was the second closed beta, I believe. And then that was July of, I think it was 2 years ago, this July. And this game is already dead. They've already called it, it's like, it was like, I think it was April or May that they ended up calling. It's like, okay, nobody's playing this. We're gonna put it in the rubbish here. Where's the speed setup? Give me this garbage setup. Okay, I'm still black. Oh. Where's the? I think I want to. Hold on. So the reason there's a lot to say about why this game is why it underperformed, and let me see if I can actually find. Yeah, right here. Here's all of my. Green Tabraya is the best Tabraya. There we go. Get the asparagus blade, and then the fresh green sprout shoes, and then is she back to normal? No, she's still very black yet. What is the pants? Hold up. What pants we got? We don't have pants. Where's my stripy pants? Stripy pants. Hold up. As with the first game, this game is all fashion. Who gives a shit about anything else? No, not Excalibur. There's my green.
It's my duty to protect the little people.
So Tabraya is so sarcastic. So sarcastic. But they had a really good system. Will you just go to the dye shop? You're not in combat. Shatton does not care. But yeah, they had a really good, like, the customability of your character, and they actually gave you a whole house, which I'll show off in a minute after I get back to green here.
Tell me a color. I bet you I have it.
Let's see. No, not the... I don't want the dye shop, actually. I need... She didn't change you at all. Take it easy. We gotta go to the plastic surgery office. And you could pay with in-game currency, which is... And it's not expensive at all. It's like 10,000 mesos to... Mesos, whatever. Call it whatever the hell you want. I don't care.
What sort of work would you like done?
But yeah, even to, like, change your eye color. To change your face, I think that did cost merits. Why they're still charging merits when the game is dead, who the fuck knows? That's fresh sprout, I believe. There you go. There you go, Tub. Your ribbon is black. Okay, we do need the dye shop. So I'm just kind of playing this as, half is a goodbye to it. This is the first Maple Story tried to go 3D. The Maple Story 1 is still going, from what I understand. That game was released, I was playing that in the mid to late 2000s, so it couldn't have been too much earlier than that. But that game is still going, and then their sequel lasted less than... There you go, perfect. Yeah, 20,000 to dye it. I'm by no means rich in this game, and I have 22 million just sitting right there doing nothing. So let me go, let me go fix the... It's classic Tabraya to have the little bow on top of her head. And she was always a solid color. I had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of customization options. They kind of went overboard with the... I'll show it off in a second. Let me get this.
Dying, isn't it?
Easy, buddy, easy. So let's get this, get that to fresh sprout. There we go. That is classic, and that is the color she is going out on. There you go, old friend.
Nice.
So we can go to... You can't go to your house from here, huh? Okay, let me leave this way. We can't go to our house from, I'm sure this is... Oh, the loading times are a little rough. I remember that in some cases. Or it's my computer that's not quite up to snuff, maybe. But there was a lot of things like they should have done a long time ago. It always seems like not R? It's not R. I don't even remember what key is what. But there's stuff they should have did a long time ago that there's no parties. No. But what I was going to say is RNG usually does not sell very well in the Western market, and that was just a huge problem to begin with. Friend, oh, you, I was never gonna guess that. And zeros of people online. Okay, I could have just assumed that. Okay, go to the house. But yeah, that was so much of it, and then the ability to make money. It seems like I have a lot, but I really don't. And I'll show you why in a second, as soon as it ever loads. As soon as it ever loads. So just taking, for example, all the shit I have now. Why didn't it never switch to the speed equipment? So like this thing, I never even got to the... I don't think anybody ever... No, one person on the East server hit max level, and everybody else was like maybe mid-80s. I got to 82. No, not gonna happen. I don't think I have any shit to upgrade this. But how it works is you would... Or how it worked, is you would have enchanted. You can go with her for sure, but to get it to 15, you need to do... Let's see, if you click on it. It'd be 100%, but you would need 4 copies of this particular weapon 8 times. And then you would need all this additional bullshit over here 8 times, which is... It gets very expensive very quickly, especially when you're doing legendary equipment. So that is kind of why, one of the reasons, like, it just... Some of it's a lot easier to get like this. You had to do a big, like a hard raid at the time, and then I was never really one to dive into it right away, so I'd always be behind, and then by the time I gave a shit, it was at the end of it, so I just whatever. I didn't care.
I can't give up like this.
But yeah, this is the house. So it just starts off as like a little 2x2x2 maybe. Might be a 2x2x2 block. And then you can expand it. They originally were charging, I think, or at least they were thinking about charging. I don't know if they ever did. I don't think so, maybe. Where the hell is... I need mounts. I need the floating planet thingy. There you go. There you go. There you go, Tub, up in the air. So they had like a little farming thing. You could get this. I don't know anybody who really cared about this. It was kind of a chore. So how this would work is you would collect it from the lowest one. Eventually, after you do it enough, you'll unlock the next one, and you can keep going and going. And that goes back into the customization, where you could come into life skills, and then you could craft. Most of it was complete garbage. A lot of this stuff was just to boost your other, like, for example, this one. You get extra... You'll collect double the stuff when you collect it, but most people just hated doing this. But way in the top, they had stuff like pineapple pizza, where you can use that to increase the attack speed by 5% for 15 minutes. But of course, you needed to do this, but by the time I was done and got the trophy for it, I was so done touching that I just kind of wanted to puke and never bothered seeing it again. So, but yeah, this was a very cool thing that they did, that they let you kind of customize it. It takes freaking forever, and that was super obnoxious to do, I remember. I think it took about 3 hours to build this, because you have to do it obviously one block at a time, and then you look at it and it's like, oh, well, this looks like shit. And then you ended up not wanting that. So, yeah, that's how you do that. Yeah, what I ended up doing on this game was another thing, if you didn't want to play the serious way. There's basically 3 groups of people in this game. There were here, go over here. There were the people that wanted to push through. Oh, Tenchi ended up on the top. I don't know if he must be still playing. But, oh, what was I going to say? I already forgot. There were 3 types of people. So you had your people that are on here just to be social. Which, like, I'm not hating on any of this. Whatever you want to play for, or whatever you wanted to play for, that's all good with me, man. I had people that were on my buddy list from all 3 of these groups. So you had the social people where you could come in, and they actually you had instruments and stuff.
Give up like this.
Okay, you know what, homie? So you can come into the builder for a second. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna come up here, and you are never gonna be seen again. Deuces. Okay, so yeah, there's that. Shit, I keep forgetting what I was gonna do. Oh, I was gonna look at the instruments. So what you could have done is you get these instruments. I have a metric shit ton because I was a trophy person. But you could whatever you wanted to play, like the xylophone. A lot of these, the blue ones, I think you had to buy. And then you could get these. So, like, this was released around Christmas time. And you could play it. And you can stop it whenever you want. Close it out. Switch it out for the harmonica. Play Joy to the World. Yeah, that was a really cool thing. That was one of the cooler things that they put into this game, is the ability to do music. And not only that, this is a thick boy, so it's 6 hours long. But yeah, you could do what's right here, an ensemble. If you're the leader of it, you can click on this, and all of these different instruments, you could get up to 10 people in your party, and you could have everybody have a different instrument, and you could play it. And then you would do this big ensemble, and it would sound really cool to have that. One of the popular places that used to happen was right up here in Queenstown, which used to be kind of the main hub back in the day for a lot of the social people. And then it seemed like they all went to Safeguard and Critias at the end. But we can take a look. This video is more for me, just to kind of say goodbye to the game. And I have a lot of hours logged into this game, but I also left it open like 24/7. Because, why would I do that, you say? Well, I'm actually surprised there are people here. Raise your antlers, okay. But yeah, you could jump on this stage, and you and your whole party could get up there, and people would just sit here and bullshit for a long time. They had a bunch of emotes you could do. Maple Story 1 had that too, but obviously not as... I don't remember what all mine were.
Just a brief rest.
Her legs are in the... Oh, okay. Maybe that's it. I think I have more. They're just not set, because I think it got reset. But yeah, it's really a nice looking game. Obviously, it's just it's block, kind of like Minecraft is. And then that was pretty much your first group of people. You could bring people over to your house, and yeah, you could play instruments there. You could have ensembles and stuff. And then the second people that played this were like your diehards, who like really just were here just for the advancement of just to get as strong as you can get, which is probably why many people played. But I never really gave too much of a shit. If you have played this game, you know my stats are absolutely in the toilet. But let me actually see if I can get my... Where's my speedy stuff? That was all about... That was all it was. Movement speed +5, thank you very much. Never found that 6% move speed cape, though. That eluded me to the very end. I think there's one more thing, but shit if I remember. Boots, cape, and then, yeah, that's all I can remember. So yeah, obviously that's one way to go. Another thing I didn't show off, the RNG that I actually complained about. So most people would use Ophelia. So Ophelia would give... You might be able to succeed. So just to get this to 15, which is the last level of this, as strong as your equipment can get. So if I tried to put a +15 in here, she says, hey, you can't upgrade that anymore. But just to have a 5% chance, you would need 4 copies of this. And then you can keep adding more, and it would give you 2% each time. Each time you add another weapon, so you need God knows how many weapons, like, what is that, 10, 12, something like that. Just, you can do the math. But then the max you could get was 30%, and I just remember I don't remember if it was this one. It might have been the legendary from the level 60s, but it was one that I was trying to get to +13, and it took, I think it took like 14 tries, and that's just... And then when you see people going up in front of you, it just kind of sucks, and nothing you can do about it. So you do get a couple of enchantment charges, which just add 1%. And I think I want to say you get 1... How does that work? I don't remember how it works, but you don't get very many. I do remember that garbage. It's like most of my equipment's not going to have shit on it. This has 46. Wow, you can see I've failed that a couple times. But yeah, it wouldn't give you very many. It's definitely less than 10. So you'd need a metric boatload to do that. And then the third group of people, which I fit in with, I was one of the trophy junkies. So you come up here to personal trophies. That is where I got to learn, or got to meet most people. I ended up finishing 15th in East, just because I kind of gave up on it. I think I was the 12th one to 3,000, which isn't really bragging about much, but yeah, you pull this up and it shows you all the trophies you got. Use an item per blah 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 times. A lot of them are just, it's just stupid bullshit looking back on it. Like this one. Here, I'll search it, just in case you can't see. Oh, get that out of here. So, time among friends. Reach, this isn't even the last tier of this. Oh, that is the last tier. 24,000 hours of cumulative gameplay. The game didn't even exist that long. I think is that 3 years? Is that what that is? I made it to almost 9,000 hours, which is ridiculous, which is pretty much, the game was on so many overnights. My poor computer made it suffer. But one of the things they added was, they had a thing called Fair Fight that was early in the game, which a lot of people hated and everybody would bitch about it, and it made sense because no matter how strong you got, what that did was everybody had the same damage cap, or roughly the same damage cap, and then it just made things like it made the bosses just take absolutely forever to kill, especially if still now, even if you're by yourself, it takes forever. And I think they nerfed their hit points down to there is one up right now. Maybe we'll go see him if I can make it in time. Let's do, where's homeboy? So it's a very big world. It was kind of fun to walk around in when you're first exploring it, but after you've explored everything and done all the quests, there's just about zero reason to ever come back to these places, which was kind of a shame because they seem to have put a lot of effort into these maps. And then there was just, like I said, if you were outside of quests, there was zero incentive to kill any of these monsters whatsoever. Even with the quest, you're just kind of mindlessly doing it to get through the storyline. But these are the world bosses. It's like even here, let me actually buff up a little bit. Like even at this, you can see how slow the hit points are going down. If you have a metric shit ton of people here, which used to happen back in the day, it would go down pretty quick. But again, I guess they're not really made to be soloed. But you'd be doing like a couple hundred damage as compared to 7,000 each shot. So that was just how those guys worked. But yeah, as far as the trash mobs, another big problem that I was always bitching about is they all, I think most at least, they almost all drop the same amount of money. So I'm down here killing these trash mobs. They're giving, what, they're giving like 30? 26. That guy gave 26. So let's go to, we're going to go over to a higher end area. As high end as I could possibly get. These monsters are level 80, so let's go over there. One good thing they did about this was the air taxi. I was kind of worried. I saw it when I first started playing, and then I was kind of worried that they were going to charge you for it, but no, they give you more than enough of those to ever use. So you can just transfer to any map that you want whenever you wanted. But again, this is just another one of those maps. It's really nice looking. Like you can tell they designed a lot of effort, or they put a lot of effort into the design of these things. But again, if there's no reason to come here, you're not going to be able to enjoy it at all. So here's level 80 monsters. Obviously take a little bit more punishment. 40 and 40. So between the garbage mobs I was killing, I don't even remember what level they were. They were on Victoria. They were over yonder way up the bomb tree. Not the bomb tree, but the... where the hell is it? I don't know, but anyway, it was just one of those things. It was almost impossible to make decent money at this game unless you were... What's up here more? Whistler Cliffs. Those mobs were half the level, so mid-40 or low 40s. But yeah, that was one of my big complaints about this game. A lot of people's big complaints is that it was impossible to get money unless you were lucky. And then, like, one of the things that Another thing they had that was good, that's the skill tree. I don't care about the skill tree. I wanted to take a look at the arcade was a good idea. They have like these little mini games in here, but they never released really any more than these two. So this is like Poverty Bomberman, and then this one's kind of like just Stay Alive. And then obviously they had ideas for more than this, but maybe there's more out in Korean Maple Story 2. Because I think the Korean server and another server they were not getting shut down, so that's good for those guys that want to continue playing there. Unfortunately, I can't transfer Tabraya over to
Really do have no equal.
over to that, or I think I'm done anyway playing it. What the hell am I looking for? It's been a little while, so I don't know where anything is anymore. This. Where the hell? I don't remember how to find dungeons. Oh, well, there's that. Oh, right here. So it had all of these. If you go to just normal adventures, this was what you would go through. I did so many of these. Oh my god. But yeah, a lot of them. There were a couple that you didn't have to do, like Hen Rescue is kind of pointless. I don't think you ever had to do that. But a lot of them are just quest storylines that you could come back in and redo it, and you could. This is your prize pool. All of this is complete garbage. After it's very quick that it becomes complete garbage, which kind of leads me into another point. I think this stuff had like a 2% drop rate at the time, so it was borderline impossible to get it at level 50 back in the day. Not only does everything drop like absolute trash in terms of money, another thing that, like, the equipment was even absolute trash. There was, I think, the white equipment, there wasn't any white equipment, or which white, blue, green, and then it was, I think, purple, yellow, red in terms of rarity. Like, you couldn't find it outside of dungeons. So again, it just goes, I don't think they dropped anything other than the blue. Like, you couldn't find in Maple Story, you couldn't find like whatever you need. Like, you needed that level 40 equipment back in the day. You could go grind on like whatever, like fire boars. I'm talking about Maple Story 1. You could go grind on whatever mob you wanted because you knew that was in their drop pool. It might be rare, but you could actually go get that. And then they didn't have that in this game. They had, yeah, you had to do dungeons in order to, oh, the mini games. But yeah, you had to do dungeons in order to make any sort of progress. And it was just like, that's really all there was to do to progress. So you would do these chaos raids every week. You could do 3. It's down here too. I don't know why they bothered doing that. Maybe so people wouldn't get too strong too quick. But it puts a cap on it. So any of your chaos raids, which here, like, they're almost impossible to do by yourself. I'm sure some people could do the 50 raids by themselves at the end, but you're capped on 3 a day and then 6 for the week. And then the same for the hard dungeons. That was not same, but similar. You could do 15 in a day and then 30 throughout the week. So like the diehard people that really wanted to play and wanted to upgrade, the reset would be on Thursday night, and they do that Thursday night, and then reset on Friday. They do it Friday night, and then there's nothing else to do for the remainder of the 5 days. Because like I said, there's zero incentive to do anything else in this game. They had a little fishing thing. It's nobody wants to do it manually, but this is kind of how it worked. You could fish, and then every area has specific fish. They did a really good job with that, with how many different types of fish you could get. So there's saltwater fish, freshwater fish, freshwater fish, unique biome fish where it didn't tell you where they were. You had to go look those up, but there are just tons and tons of fish. And then the golden fish. Yeah, they had these things called auto fishers where you could just hit that. I might have one, honestly. No. So this is what it would be like manually. This didn't show up if you used an auto fisher. It would just automatically catch it or not catch it. And then, yep, they had auto performers too, but I don't think I have any. Man, I could still go get more trophies too, because I never used all this shit. Oh my god, my Valentine's Day stuff expired. Oh, darn it. Darn it. Darn it. But yeah, like I said, the customization was there's all sorts of different mounts you could ride on. But it's just by the time they got around to, they used to have a Leaf Squad or something like that early in the game, where they would like take advice from the people and then give it to, at least I think that's how that worked. They would give advice like, hey, this in the game really blows balls. Will you please fix this? And then they wouldn't ever, or they might have like temporarily fixed it, but then new content came out and it kind of erased the fix, and then they never bothered implementing it, re-implementing it. So yeah, there was a little bit of that too. Yeah, there were so many different little pets you could have. I think I only have a couple. Whichever one you wanted. They all have their different little, like attack boost. I use Luca almost all the time for the +4 movement speed and then +5 movement speed, so an extra 9. That was pretty much all I did in this game, was movement speed, because boy, those trophies, bro. Those trophies. The one that took the longest. And there was only a few of us ballsy enough to go get this beast. And we are worse off for it. Where the hell is it? I don't remember what it's called. Here, do ramp. Search ramp. It's around here somewhere. There it is, right there. Defend the ramparts. Clear that 10,000 times. Now this is what this is it's a little normal dungeon. And it takes roughly 5 to 7 minutes to complete. At least I think that's the case. So if you want to get to 1,000, that's about, I think it was between 80 and 90 hours. I watched a lot of movies while playing this game, so there's that. It was a pretty competitive world to be in the Trophy Hunters Anonymous there. Is there anything else I care to talk about? I don't know. Not particularly. Maybe we'll go... I don't know. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Like, some of the adventures were... Again, they're interesting the first couple times. Sure, we'll go here. We're extremely overpowered for it, but... They're interesting the first couple times, but then they lose their charm really quick, especially in the ones that you're forced to do over and over, like those chaos raids and those hard dungeons. Because they were pretty much split up into what you wanted. So if you wanted armor, you would do this dungeon or this dungeon. And then if you wanted a weapon, you could do this dungeon or this dungeon. The chaos raids were not like that. They didn't have two options, I mean. So what they had is, okay, one dungeon, that will get you... Uh-oh, there we go. The one dungeon would get you, okay, this one will give you the boots, the helmet, and then the gloves. And then the other one, that'll give you, ouch, quit it. That one will give you the top and the bottom of your armor. And then the other one was for weapons. So that you just had to keep doing that same one over and over. And like I said, well, not over and over is kind of, it's a little misleading with the dungeon caps. Because after you cap, you don't get any more rewards. So it's just, thanks. I got it, don't worry about it. I got it, you guys. Yeah, I still think it's a good looking game even after 2 years. So this was kind of fun the first time you did it. This is one of the dungeons I didn't complete all the trophies for. Because a lot of them were complete the dungeons 300 times. That was the average one. The Watchtower Ramparts one is a little bit of that bull, as the Dash would say. So let me put that over yonder. This was randomized every time. This one. You can see how it's an interesting concept, where they would put, it'd just be a little puzzle. Not super challenging, but it forced you to look around and to think for a second. Where the hell is that one? Right about here, Funk Soul Brother. Do we have two of those? Put it right there. There you go. Is this right? I hope it's right. Hey! Oh! But this, I think they had fair fight in these too, if I remembered right. And they took it out and people were thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. But the game, it just doesn't seem, I don't know. I can see why, like, even after a year, I was like, this game is, I'm amazed that it's still here. With all of the issues it had. Which is sad to say, this is a game I probably could have played for quite a while if they would have been on it. But it's just a lot of the RNG stuff, the money sinks. It was, yeah. That was a lot of the problem. So just taking one example of the money. Just taking one.
Good. What do you want me to work on?
Yeah, you can do this anytime, by the way. So if I wanted to try to upgrade... Why does it say 37? Oh, I think it's a lot cheaper now. I think that's why. They nerfed everything. Yeah, it's only 66. But it used to be like a couple of thousand just to attempt that upgrade. And then the only way to get those, like, there's nothing that really dropped it. There were a few events that would give them out, especially near the end there. There was one that was really giving them out, which I think I ended up with a boatload of them. But it used to be the only option was to buy it from the store for 1,000 each. So if you needed 2,000 of them, you got to drop a couple million just for the attempt. So it's kind of stupid at the end of the day. Like, there wasn't a great way to make money unless you got lucky with some of the dungeon drops that were valuable. And once again, with your caps, there's a very good likelihood that you're not going to get it. I don't know what the exact percentages were, but they weren't pretty. Okay. Hey. Okay, let's go. Let's go, fellas. Come on. So you can see how, as a trophy person, this dungeon would take a very, very long time to get through 300 times. Hacking bullshit. Alright, there we go. There we go. Get on in the lion's mouth. This is an easy dungeon, by the way. There are hard dungeons which take way longer to solo. Unless you're pro, which I am not. Not the Animus Lamp! Well, I better go join them. I better go oh, no! It's Laffy Boy. Can you get this out of here? Has that been in the middle the whole time? Ooh, he summoned an evil cat. I summoned an evil worm. Dead. Woo! We did it. The lamp has regained its nonsense. Yeah, that was fun.
New mail has arrived.
Yay, new mail has arrived. That thing has jump scared me more times than I care to admit. And look at that.
Hello.
Okay. Look at that flaming asparagus sword. We still need the copies. Why would they still make you get the copies? The game's... I think the official death date is 1 month from today, the 23rd. I think it's May 27 that they were officially pulling the plug. That's why everybody's not on this game. And it's just... Where the hell am I? Oh, I'm on Jupia Road. New mail has arrived. You got a fragment. Alright, well, I think that's roughly it. What the hell? Apparently there's still people playing somewhere. Alright, yeah, it's just, it was a waste of time. This game, it was... What I always saw it was, is like, it's a game you play while you're watching a movie or something. Which kind of says... Maybe it says more about the game than I think it does. But again, mostly the reason I played this was to bullshit with people, even though I'm not super social in these games. But yeah, I kind of did that. But it's just the grind. Like, I don't mind the grinding so much. The grinding never really did bother me, even in Maple Story 1. But I heard that's kind of gone down the hill too. But I think that's it. I just wanted to do a quick goodbye video before I uninstalled this beast. Fun while it lasted. Was it ever going to make it to 5 years? No. It, like I said, it didn't even make it to 2 years. I think October was when it was released. And then it made it about a year and a half before it finally kicked the bucket. But that is it. See you later, Miss Tub Tub. It's been real. But we are going to quit. So that's just the goodbye video there. So I am Takahmasak. I'll see you later.